What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video journey episode. Today, well, a few things happened, a few funny things, a few not so funny things, and a few interesting things. So, first of all, I started my day. Lovely. Went on a run with a friend. Was great. Don't know how far we ran because I used Strava this time. I used to use Adidas Running, and now I use Strava, and it was tripping when I turned my phone off. But okay, and then I came back, cold shower, pray, easy peasy. Then I actually worked a bit on my assignment, which is great. That was really good. And went for my first class. First class, bro, that was so boring. Literally for 1.5 hours, I was sitting there. I was sitting up straight and I was sitting there like this. And at one point, I was so close to sleeping. I was like, and I don't know how long my eyes were closed. Literally, I do not know. It felt like an eternity, but I think it was only for a few seconds. Because when a teacher continued her sentence, like it made sense. Thing is, I'm sitting in the front row because I'm blind. I can't see the board. I can see the front. So I'm sitting in the first row and I almost fell asleep. Literally, that's how boring it was. And maybe I slept like 6 hours today, I think. But 6 is still not a little, you know what I mean? Still, I don't know. Yeah. So I kind of almost fell asleep. Then we had a break, 10-minute break, went to get coffee. Coffee was too hot. Couldn't drink it. And I was like, damn, I'm about to fall asleep again. So I did the most logical thing. I got my mind to work. So I went and traded a bit. I didn't trade. I looked at the charts and prepared the charts, just looked at it a bit at it because it's been quite a while since I last traded. You know what I mean? Need to get back into it. So that's what I did, and it helped. It really helped. And then after a while, when we were doing like new stuff again, when I was so focused on trading, then I was awake, then I drank coffee, then I was so out of what she was saying because I was focused on the chart because that kept me awake. But then I was awake, and then coffee, and then I got right into the class, and I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. And half a minute later, no, one sentence later, or 2 sentences later, after I focused again, I knew everything, and everything that needed to be known. You know what I mean? Like, of course I didn't know everything, but like, bro, I was not paying attention for the last half an hour, and just out of nowhere, I'm like in. That's crazy. But then it kicked in. All right, the coffee kicked in real bad. You see, I don't know how to say this, but basically, I don't drink coffee a lot, and obviously, then the coffee has a greater effect. But that's not the only thing the coffee effect depends on. Actually, I used the coffee energy for quite, I found something new out, okay? Wait, let me get my... So, first of all, then I hyper focused on the class. I was literally laser focused. I was doing so well. My brain was thinking so fast, like literally. I was at the chart. I was in class, answering, checking the teacher's maths, and working before, while she was explaining on it. When she was like, okay, now you do this, I already did it. And I did all of that at the same time, kind of. And that was that amount of focus, bro. That was impressive. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, and then I was like, oh wait, this was in the second class. But yeah, then I got kind of but it was still bearable, and it was more focused. Then I had a 45-minute break, went back here, chilled a bit, and then the ADHD started to kick in. I made one audio in the 45-minute break, one audio, not 45 minutes long, but I made one audio of me talking, admitting that the coffee is giving me too much energy right now, and I'm noticing it. Bro, the next class was so bad. The first hour of the 2 hour class did not feel like 1 hour, all right? What I did was talk to ChatGPT a bit. And I was like, let's just look at this, because it was so interesting, because this is news for me. I didn't know this. I was like, all right, why does coffee affect some people more than others? It says different things, genetics, da, da, da. And I was like, bro, say that simpler. Why and what makes the effect stronger? Why it hits some people harder? Genetics, brain receptors. Some brains are more sensitive to the block of the thyroid signal. I get a bit bigger jolt of energy or jitters. Tolerance, so if you drink it all the time, that's what I said. Hormones and size. So smaller people or those with certain hormones clear caffeine slower, so it lingers longer. So basically, depends. And I was like, what if someone has a fast metabolism but rarely drinks coffee? Blah, blah, blah. And then he said something about caffeine metabolism. He was like, if someone has a fast caffeine metabolism, I'm like, wait, caffeine metabolism? I thought like, metabolism when it comes to weight. That's the only time I've heard it, like weight gain. Bro, everyone's speaking about how they have fast metabolisms, but I just don't eat a lot in reality, but I eat a lot and I have a fast metabolism. Like, bro, 3 years I've been bulking. I gained 22 kgs in 3 years, and I lost 7 kgs in 2 months. I lost a year's worth of weight gain in 2 months. It wasn't intended. I just a boat. Watch the 1 hour boat video if you want more on that. All right. And then was like, is there a difference between caffeine metabolism and general one? And he's like, yes. General metabolism is like how fast your body burns fuel. I feel like I drank the coffee at 11 a.m. It is now almost 7 p.m. How is it that I still have the coffee effect? I don't normally talk like this. Like, I don't know. All right, anyways. General metabolism, how fast your body burns fuel, so calories, carbs, fat. Baseline engine speed. Caffeine metabolism, how fast your liver breaks down one specific molecule, in this case caffeine. And different control mechanisms. He was like, blah, 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 why people confuse them. Fast metabolism sounds like I process everything fast, but caffeine metabolism is a genetic sub-process, not a reflection of your whole metabolic rate. And I was like, what other types of metabolisms are there? Bro, these questions are so smart, because literally he was just talking. Like, I literally picked up on something so small, like caffeine metabolism. I picked up on that, and he didn't even highlight it. It was just, and then I found out he was, I was like, oh, so there's a caffeine metabolism. So what other metabolisms are there? Are there any other that I don't know of? Bro, that was hella smart, I have to say. So yeah, he's like, here's the general metabolism, which I just said, the mass, then the carbohydrate metabolism for sugars and starches, fat metabolism, fats, obviously, like, all right, carbohydrate, how your body handles sugars and starches. Okay. Fat metabolism, how you convert fats into usable energy. Protein metabolism, how you break down and rebuild amino acids. Xenobiotic drug metabolism, this is where caffeine, alcohol, medications, and toxins get processed, so in the liver. Energy metabolism, final common pathway, how cells make ATP, the energy currency. Hormonal endocrine, I don't know, metabolism, how your body produces, uses, and clears hormones. Testosterone, estrogen, cortisol, thyroid. And then he gave me a cool little table. The table is type, general, carb, fat, whatever. What it processes, everything, glucose, amino acids, whatever. Controlled by, and then whatever. Example issue. like slow metabolism for the normal, weight gain, diabetes for carb, fat storage for fat, muscle loss for protein. Da, da, da. And then I was like, add a layer to the table as well as explain how to notice these, the speed of these metabolisms. All right. He gave me another table. How to notice here the general, the metabolism that everyone, I hope, knows of. Hard to gain weight. That means it's fast. High body frequent hunger, lots of energy, fast metabolism. Slow, always cold, tired, easy weight gain, sluggish. Yeah. And then he basically gave all that. I don't know if you want to hear. I'm just gonna. Why? You're here for me. I don't care what you want to hear. That is partially true. That is like a half true, half false. No one just tells me what to say, so I just say whatever. That's the thing. Yeah. If you have any questions, ask me. I will answer 100% of the time because I'm just a great guy. All right, carbohydrate. Fast metabolism, stable energy after carbs, no sugar crashes, slow, tired, or foggy after carbs, frequent hunger swings, high fasting, glucose. Fat. Fast metabolism can go hours without food, steady energy, slow, crave snacks, often feel weak if you skip meals, store fat easily. Fast protein metabolism, quick muscle recovery, can handle high protein diet. I don't know why he said can handle a high protein diet. That, like, who cannot handle a high protein diet? I don't know. But basically, quick muscle recovery. Slow, soreness lingers, low muscle tone, low protein tolerance, bloating, ammonia, smell and sweat, urine. Xenobiotic, drug, caffeine, alcohol, metabolism, coffee wears off quickly, alcohol tolerance high. Slow caffeine jitters, meds hit hard, long, alcohol lingers. Yeah, I think I have a slow. Okay, no, I do that at the end. Energy, ATP, fast, high endurance, mental clarity, good recovery, slow, constant tiredness even after sleep, poor focus, get winded easily. Hormonal metabolism, fast, high libido, stable mood, good energy cycles, slow lethargy, poor mood, low sex drive, unpredictable energy. All right, let's go through it. For me, general, definitely fast metabolism, like a general one, like gaining weight, like I said, terrible. Carbohydrate, frequent. Not too sure, to be honest, because stable energy after carbs. I don't really look at carbs. Like right now, I don't look at carbs. I just eat what I can afford, to put it simply, because I'm broke. Like, I'm not broke, but like, if I would actively look at like buying good quality food, I wouldn't have any money very soon. So, yeah, because good food is expensive. It's as simple as that. Fat. Low-key also don't know. Like, I think slow, because it says can go hours without food. I can. Steady energy, I can too. Like, slow, crave snacks often. Low-key, I would eat 5 to 6 times a day if someone would cook for me. Like, honestly. Feel weak if you skip your meals. Yes and no. Like, it's like, when you get hungry, your stomach is like growling, you feel weaker until one point, like at one point in time it just stops, and you know what I mean. I don't know. Protein, quick muscle recovery, I think so. So I think fast, but sometimes soreness lingers. I'm not too sure. But I think it's fast, because like muscle recovery is pretty quick here, and like I said, can handle a high protein diet. Who can't? So I think, yeah. Coffee here, xenobiotic, drug, caffeine, alcohol. Apparently slow, because I mean, caffeine's still here. It's been 7 hours ago, but maybe it's not due to the sensitivity or due to the resistance, but it's just due to the amount of coffee I don't drink. Like this was literally my first coffee in I don't know how long, and it was black. It was a black coffee. I don't know when was the last time I just drank pure coffee without milk. So maybe that's also an issue. Energy, high endurance, mental clarity, good recovery. I would say fast here too. And hormonal, what is it called? Metabolism. I would say fast, high libido, stable mood, good energy cycles. Yeah, I don't have low sex drive, unpredictable energy, poor mood, lethargy. I would say fast. How to actually notice or test these, blah, blah, blah. It gives me like actual stuff to do, like blood work or whatever. Yeah, you don't have only one metabolism. Yeah. What else? And then I was like, okay, what else can you tell me about the body, how it works, what's going on inside, whatever else that isn't known by most? I didn't read this actually because then the class kind of ended and I just stopped. So yeah, let's read it. Your body isn't stable; it's a constant battlefield. It's a network of competing systems. Your immune system and endocrine system and gut microbiome are constantly negotiating who gets resources. All right. When stressed, your body trades digestive efficiency for alertness, definitely. That's also why stress is not good for you, like one of the reasons. Your gut is basically a second brain. The enteric nervous system has roughly 100 million neurons, more than your spinal cord. It produces neurotransmitters like serotonin, affecting mood and even decision making. People underestimate this. You feel anxious, fatigued, or foggy not because your brain is broken, but because your gut is screaming. That's interesting. I didn't know this. Your cells are constantly talking to each other, even in silence, via exosomes and chemical signals that affect distant organs. Damage or stress in one organ, say the liver, sends chemical messages that alter brain function, fat storage, and immune responses. Basically, your body behaves like a networked supercomputer, not isolated organs. I mean, it's kind of obvious, to be honest. Energy isn't just calories in and out. Dysfunction, mitochondria signal your body when to grow, repair, or die. Chronic fatigue, inflammation, aging. Your energy level is more about mitochondrial efficiency than how many calories you consumed. All right. Most people's hormones are constantly out of whack, even subtly. Cortisol spikes. Yeah, not everyone's clock is aligned. True. Look at the sleep of people. Oh, no way scrolled up. Here, even normal hormone levels can be mismatched in timing. You might have perfect morning cortisol but bad evening cortisol, wrecking sleep. Libido, recovery, hunger, mood, all of these can be subtly hacked by timing your food, sleep, and stress exposure. That is true. For example, the simple rule of trying not to eat dinner like at least 1 to 2 hours before you sleep. I mean, it makes sense because if you eat shortly before you sleep, your body will not be focused on recovery, like on resting, but your body will still be focused on digesting the food that you ate. That's why you shouldn't eat soon, like close to going to bed. Very simple. Because then you can, like on Sundays, you can, like let's say 2 days, same amount of sleep, but on one you eat 2 hours before sleeping and one you eat 20 minutes before sleeping. On one you ate 2 hours before sleeping, you got more rest because your body's just like you. I hope you understand because I believe I explained it simply. If not, bro, ask. Like I said, your brain is shockingly plastic but lazy. Rewires constantly, but it favors efficiency over correctness. Habits, beliefs, and even a posture shape neural wiring in ways most people ignore. This is why mental fatigue often feels physical. Your brain optimizes for the path of least energy, which can affect whole body metabolism. This is so important. Habits, belief, and even posture shape neural wiring and bro, efficiency over correctness. Like the path of least resistance, the path of least energy usage. Bro, literally. Habits, beliefs, and even as something as simple as posture. Bro, it is super important. I don't know how to explain this right now. Like, I don't have the words for it, but like, because for me it's so obvious. But like, if you don't understand, ask me. Not just ask, how are habits, beliefs, and even posture important when it comes to your mental fatigue or your mental state? I don't know. Ask me a good question, because the question I just asked myself, and I don't have the answer to that. Like, ask me a question I don't. Basically, if you ask me a question that I don't think about, obviously you don't know what I think about, because I don't even know what I think about, because it's so random. I don't know how I actually trained my mind to be so random. That's actually really interesting. I wish I would know, because I think it's quite, I think it's cool, to be honest. Like my brain is so random. I don't know how I achieved it. I did some crazy like brainwashing to myself. Actually, I used to be, my brain used to be so uncool, and now it's like I'm wrong. Whatever. Microbiome is like a hidden organ. Trillions of bacteria in your gut can determine how you digest food, store fat, produce vitamins, and even influence cravings and mood. Some people gain fat more easily not because of willpower, but because the microbiome is fat friendly. Okay. Your body is extremely good at hiding damage. Chronic stress, inflammation, early metabolic dysfunction, you won't feel it until it's serious. True. Symptoms are delayed because your body prioritizes keeping your life over keeping you comfortable. This is why most people think they're fine when metabolically they're already in trouble. Yes. Just yes. Just very simply. Yeah. Most people don't realize until it's too late. And it's also so interesting, like we're a species capable of thinking into the future. We're like, we can make plans for the future. Of course, it's one thing if they happen or not. Like, we can make plans for the future, and we can at a certain age. I think till 25 we develop, or till 25 the part develops of our brain with which we can determine the consequences of our actions. And like, so when people are turn 25 or so, it's like, that's really only when they start noticing or thinking about like really the consequence of their actions. Because for me, for example, I would say I think about the consequence of my actions and stuff. Like, I think about the future, but at the same time, I don't think, like, it's not at its peak, you know what I mean? Like, there's still so much room for improvement, because sometimes I make these stupid mistakes, or sometimes I just don't think about the future or the consequence of my actions because I just don't want to. And I think that will change in the next 6 years, 5.5 years. Your perception of energy is mostly chemical, not muscular. Feeling tired or energetic is mostly hormones, neurotransmitters, blood sugar, and oxygen delivery, not how strong your muscles are. Feeling tired or energetic matters on these things, not how strong your muscles are. Who the hell thinks you feel more tired or energetic depending on how many muscles you have? Am I crazy for finding this ridiculous, or who thinks more muscle equals more energy or less energy? People train muscles and neglect chemical optimization, which is why a fit person can still feel like crap. Bro, it ain't about the destination, it's about the way, yo. It's about the way, okay? Because when you work out, when you exercise, you gain the mindset and you delay gratification, which makes you feel more energetic. You feel good about yourself. You feel more energetic because you're doing good stuff and you're not you're ruining your life. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah. So that's the dialogue. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Then that was the first hour of class, and then small break, and then yeah, second part of the and then the class ended, and and then afterwards I had 1 hour. Now we come to a very funny story. All right, I had like 1 hour 15 to make lunch before my Spanish class. I did make lunch. It was great. I cooked 2 pieces of chicken and made some noodles. It was really great. You know how I recently bought some tableware? Do you call it tableware? Basically forks and knives from like some Asian store that was right next to the grocery store where I bought the groceries. Yeah, it was everything good actually. I was like, maybe it like the knives that were given are terrible. They don't cut meat at all. That's especially why I went there. And and now everything was normal. But today I ate and I was like today I cooked the meat differently. And when I ate, it tasted like blood. And I'm like, did I cook the meat properly? And was like, whatever. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 pieces. I ate like half the plate. That was the word I was looking for. I ate half the plate of meat and noodles. And I was like, why is the taste of blood not going away? And I was like, wait, my fork tastes like blood? I sniff it and I'm like, why does it reek of blood? And that's when I realized something might be wrong. So I went to the kitchen, got the forks and knives that were already here, the terrible ones, smelled them, and it tasted like there was no smell, no blood smell. And I was like, damn, what does this mean? I asked the friend and helper ChatGPT. Bro was like, for those who don't know, like I didn't know. Bro, that's terrible, basically cheap. It was made from cheap materials, obviously, China store. Made from cheap materials, and so I might get like at least a light food poisoning. And I was like, bro, this is not serious. This is fake news. And I was like, I don't have a doctor here. I don't even have my residence card yet. I still need to. Like tomorrow is the day where I can do stuff finally. Like buy the vacuum, buy a proper towel for the kitchen, buy proper forks and knives because I'm not using them again. Yeah. So, and figure out the residency card. So, and afterwards, like before my Spanish class and during my Spanish class, and a bit after my Spanish class, like especially before my Spanish class, like literally 10 to 20 minutes after I ate, bro, I was like, I'm close to throwing up. I'm close, very close to throwing up. I was like, damn. And then, you know what I did? Brainwash at its finest, yo. I was like, nah, bro, I don't get food poisoning. I poison the food. Food poisoning is for weak people. It's literally a thing of the mind. And I said that to myself for 2 minutes straight while I was walking to Spanish class. Bro, during Spanish class, I was good. And then I came out again and I was like, bro, I don't know, maybe it's not a thing of the mind. Maybe it's not a thing of the mind. But until now, nothing bad happened. I think like I think the worst part is over, honestly. I hope the worst part is over. Because I felt honestly quite terrible after that. Yeah, lesson learned. Don't buy cheap stuff. Yep. Oh well, it's a good lesson. And it's a funny story. Almost got food poisoning because I was a dumbass. But ChatGPT did say boil the forks and knives and it should go away. How trustworthy is this? How trustworthy is this? I don't know. Because I don't want to eat from it again, and feel terrible again. Maybe next time get a food poisoning. So I think I'm just gonna buy new ones. You know what I mean? Don't know yet. Probably gonna buy new ones too tomorrow, to be honest. So yeah, that's what's up. Mad. Funny stuff. I don't find it funny anymore. I find myself funny. Bro, it's so funny when you find yourself funny. Like when you know you're funny. I know I can be unfunny, but I know in general I'm quite funny. And like even if I'm not funny, because sometimes I make really unfunny jokes, okay? Like on purpose. And then I just have to laugh at myself because that joke was so bad. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what's up. Enough talking. See you on the next one.